foreign students working at the Hershey factory in Pennsylvania are walking out of their job because they feel that they've been exploited.
That's because they were massively exploited.
Yes. Now, these are students who came from Eastern Europe, Asian countries, and they came here because they wanted to travel the United States, and they also wanted to have the opportunity to work in the United States. So they spent between $3,000 to $6,000 for a J-1 visa so they could come here and work. And 400 of them were employed at a Hershey factory in Pennsylvania. Now, after they paid for the housing that was provided by the Hershey company, they only made about $40,000 to $140,000 a week.
No, $40,000 to $140.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I say 1,000? Well, yeah, 40 to 140.
Yeah, so in the end, they have almost nothing left, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So why did they come here in the first place? One of the kids I saw that was interviewed said, oh, I looked up Hershey and it looked like it was a huge American company, and obviously we all think that our English can get better if we come, and we thought it was a really great work opportunity. Then we come to find out that we're working at a factory, and every 2 seconds you have to pick up this incredibly heavy box, and it doesn't matter if you're a girl, a boy, how big you are, how small you are. You pick it up every 2 seconds. That's all you do. And then you come home and you've got no money left because they made you pay for the home that you're in, which is just basically bunks, etc. And then they say at the end of the day, here's $40. And that's your big experience in America.
Right, exactly. Now, we actually have a few videos for you guys where the students are talking about their personal experiences at the Hershey factory. So let's watch that. Let's look at video number 1. They talk about the working conditions and how much money they made.
These 400 workers paid to come.
I paid $4,000 to come here.
$3,000.
$3,500.
They found themselves working in a chocolate packing factory where they're packing Hershey's chocolates.
These boxes are very heavy, man. These boxes are very heavy for a girl.
My first day was horrible.
Every 2 seconds, you just pick the box, another box, and it's not stopping.
It's 15 kilograms, and I take it and take.
You have to be fast. You are doing this all the time.
They don't care. If you are small, you don't have the power, you didn't eat, they just care about their production.
My back hurts, my eyes hurt, my wrists hurt.
I want to be a surgeon, and I have to use my hands. And what happens if something happens to my hand? That's my childhood dream, and you cannot take it away from me.
If you're not doing so fast this, they will send you home. That means they will send you home back to your country.
Yeah. Now tell us, so they go to ask Hershey, they say, okay, well, why are you guys doing this? Why don't you just hire people from Pennsylvania where the factory is, etc. Well, it turns out Hershey says, wasn't me.
Yeah, Hershey.
Who was it, Anna?
Okay, so this is an incredible story because everyone is trying to place the blame on everyone else. Now, when Hershey's was questioned by reporters, they said, well, that's not really the Hershey's factory. That's where they do the distribution. That's where they do the packaging. You'd have to go talk to Excel Inc. They're in charge of our distribution. So, okay, the reporters went to Excel Inc. and they asked them, and they're like, well, we're not in charge of hiring people and we're not in charge of payroll and stuff. Maybe you should go to SHS Staffing Solutions. Those are the people that employ this Hershey factory packaging center.
Right? Okay, so, good. Then we must be the answer, right?
So, no. So reporters go to them, and it turns out, no, we have nothing to do with this. You should go talk to the Council for Educational Travel USA.
Well, it turns out finally those are the guys who do the J-1 visas and get the kids, etc. Now, let's think about why, right? Now, they want as cheap a labor as humanly possible. Why? They're a corporation. They have to maximize profit. This isn't personal. They don't hate the kids from Russia or wherever they come from or Asia. They just think, I got to lower my costs as much as possible. But Hershey doesn't want to get stuck with the bag, if you will, right? Mm-hmm. So they think, well, if we get in trouble for it, we want to be able to say it wasn't us. So they go through 4 layers of bureaucracy to make sure that they don't get stuck with it. And by the way, they pay all those levels. Instead of actually paying the workers, they pay all those 4 different companies to hide the fact that they're screwing the workers.
Right.
And these kids, once they get here, they're threatened. And they're saying, okay, well, you're going to go, as you heard there, you're going to get deported. You're going to go back and the money that your family sometimes borrowed, which is a ton of money for those families, well, how are you going to pay it back? Okay, so get back to work picking up those heavy boxes.